What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So for this horror teaser, we are taking a look at a film which I believe, it says here it's a cult film. Abigail Before Beatrice teaser. Olivia Taylor Dudley confronts her cult past in disquieting thriller. One of those ones I hadn't heard about, had no context about. So we're gonna be learning about this one together. If you don't already know about it. I do like these ones. I like when these ones that you don't suspect and you don't hear about, and all of a sudden a teaser drops, a full trailer drops, and the film is coming out in like a month or a couple of weeks, and it turns out to just be a banger of a horror film. And most of these are going to be independent films, mid-level budget films, but so many of them are so great. Even if they also just go right to streaming and they never get to, or they only get like a limited theatrical release. I think many of these get so overlooked for all the big budget films. And don't get me wrong, we obviously I cover those as well. We talk about those here, whether it's like Scream 7 or the legacy trash sequel that I'm sure is going to be I Know What You Did Last Summer. We talk about those films, and some of those films, I'm excited to see those as well. But I get just as excited when we get these independent films, because I don't know, I just think there's something a bit better about them sometimes. I think the passion level with many of them is there. Now, side note, I don't share that same sentiment when it comes to a lot of the public domain films. I still do have a list of ones that I still need to either watch or do a review on. Like some of the Popeye ones. I've watched one of the three, which was just absolutely garbage. And we've talked about that one on here. I think I already did a review on that one. One of the ones I've seen more recently was probably about a week and a half ago, which was Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. Now that was something else. I'll just say I will be doing a spoiler review on that one, but I will say it's not quite Terrifier level gore, but there are some scenes where I think is pretty on par with Terrifier level gore. If someone would not, and I said this when I did the trailer review for that film and all the teaser reviews for that film, reactions and stuff. If someone had never told you this was Peter Pan, if they would have just changed that name, called it something completely different, it could have stood on its own for being its own horror film. The fact that they were trying to play off of the Peter Pan story, you could see it there a little bit, but not really that much. There were some very disturbing parts in that, which I think that's what they were obviously going for. Overall, it's not going to be a horror film for everybody, just like I think like the Terrifier series isn't either. So more to come on that one, but let's get back to this. Let's jump into the article details like we always do. Then we're going to jump over to the teaser, see what this one's going to be about, and give our final thoughts on it. So watch the teaser trailer for the slow burn psychological thriller Abigail Before Beatrice below. So this is the second psychological thriller trailer review we've done over the last couple of days. We just did a recent one with Willem Dafoe. I think it was called The Man in My Basement or something like that. That one looked pretty interesting. It was a quick teaser. It was only about a minute long. Very interested to see how that one goes. But it should be already uploaded in our playlist. So go check that one out. Seeing a lot more of these psychological thrillers pop up. I do like psychological thrillers. Now, when it comes to the slow burn, though, that's going to be hit or miss. The story has got to be somewhat compelling. You got to feel that build up to something that's going to pay off. Otherwise, I've seen several, and I think we all have, especially when it comes to the horror space, where you get this slow burn and it never pays off, or it quickly just fizzles out, and they almost as if they got 3/4 of the way through the film. They get to that last quarter, and it was almost as if they said, "Oh, well, that's the end of the day. It's a Friday afternoon. Everyone go home early, and let's just finish there." And they really don't even put any thought into the last quarter of the film. So, the film will have its world premiere at the Bentonville Film Festival in Arkansas on June 19th, followed by a virtual premiere at the Chattanooga Film Festival from June 20th to 28th. Olivia Taylor Dudley stars as an isolated woman who is confronted by her past when a fellow former cult member played by Riley Dandy, reaches out with news that their leader has been released from prison early. I can only imagine what he was in prison for. I mean, it's a cult film. Odds are we can all speculate what that was about. And I'm not going to say just because of YouTube terms and services, TOS. The character of Beatrice is extremely close to my heart, said writer-director Casey Keat, whose 2023 feature debut, Scream Therapy, earned her a $60,000 Panavision camera grant that she used on the new film. Quote, her story is about what happens when you find yourself on the other side of a toxic relationship, unable to move on because you can't let go. I believe everyone can relate to her intense desire for love, acceptance, and community. I couldn't have made Abigail Before Beatrice without my amazingly talented Los Angeles friends, and I'm so honored that I was able to film in my home state of Arkansas. All right. Names of who all is in it. Who's produced it, the trailer, and we do have a poster. All right, so let's take a look. All right, pretty interesting poster. You guys know what I've said before. I don't like all the font, all the names up here, names here, all this nonsense at the bottom. It's interesting though that she's standing, I mean, in a sundress or like a summer type dress. But if you look closely, up to her elbows, she's covered in blood on both arms. She's got a knife in one hand and a gas canister in front of her. So, all right. So I can only imagine where this is going to go. It's a cult film. Someone who's trying to move on from their past, but runs into somebody from her past, was part of the cult, and the leader has been released from prison. So, I mean, this can only get better, right? So, and then this scene right here. I mean, we have somebody holding an object to her. I mean, I'm assuming that's the same person because the dress does look the same. So, all right, let's get back to the top of the article as we always do. Let's pull up the trailer and see what they're going to give us.
Hey, stop. Don't move.
What are you doing out here?
I'm sorry.
This is private property. How'd you even get out here?
I used to live there and I planted these.
How long have you been taking care of the garden?
Maybe a month or two.
That makes sense. We moved in a couple months ago, and I just thought we got really lucky.
I didn't mean to steal from you. I kind of thought they belonged to me.
You know they don't, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not like you.
Yes, you are. Or you wouldn't have come here.
You broke our promise. You didn't call. You didn't text. You just crawled into my bed in the middle of the night.
I know that sound.
What sound?
The sound at the end.
This is my house.
This is my house! You don't belong here. You don't deserve to be here. This is sacred.
I can have it all. We could go back to the farm. We could be a family.
I don't want it. I want to erase everything. I want to be able to walk down the street and not have to look over my shoulder.
How could we both have two completely different experiences?
You didn't see what I saw. We're in a cult.
Hasn't anyone ever told you that you deserve good things?
All right, so that trailer didn't really give away a whole lot as far as how this is going to play out. We did see the scene from the poster, and if you notice, the gas canister wasn't there. So that was obviously added in for the poster itself, which is kind of odd why they would add that in. Definitely some cultish things going on in this film. I mean, just what we just know about how cults work. I mean, just based on what's reported, based on stories, based on firsthand accounts, you can kind of garner that aspect. I do see this having a slow burn. Obviously, we didn't see again any of the aspects of what I would have thought from the poster. Like, I mean, her arms covered in blood, the knife. I mean, they kind of led to that a little bit, but they obviously weren't going to give that away in this teaser. And this one was only a minute and 29 seconds, and even in that minute 29 seconds, you can't really garner which direction this is going to go. And also the cult leader being released from prison, they didn't really play into that or really go down that path. We do see what we would assume are the two individuals mentioned in the article. It goes back. I mean, it goes back to say that. I mean, we look back at the synopsis. The character of Beatrice stars as an isolated woman who is confronted by her past when a fellow former cult member, played by Riley Dandy, reaches out with the news that their leader has been released from prison. So, I mean, I would imagine that's the two blondes that we see talking there a little bit back and forth, and then we start to see it pick up a little bit, but not too much before it ends. So. I mean, obviously, I think it's going to be a while before we even see this film become available, whether that's theater or streaming, just for the simple fact that it's going to be going to a few film festivals in the next, this month, and I think it was this month. And usually once that happens, yeah, June 19th, and then again from June 20th to the 28th. So here in a couple weeks. But usually when that happens, unless it gets picked up or purchased, then it's determined how it's going to pan out. So I've seen some go up to a year or more or longer. We've done some trailer reviews on here where I've mentioned that it was first premiered back in like 2023. So who knows? But I'd imagine if we're seeing a trailer already ahead of the film festival, it's possible we could see this probably hit streaming. So I'm interested in this one. I need to see more of it though. Again, it's one of those middle ground films thus far for me, because again, the trailer just doesn't give away that much as to where this could go. Like I said, it leads you into the fact that this is going to be a slow burn film. The psychological aspects, so I'm not fully seeing there. I mean, we saw a bit of the knife cutting. It would appear to be she cut somebody, I assume it's her, cuts her finger. They allude to a lot of things, but don't really get into anything, which I think that's maybe part of the mystery of the teaser itself. So anyways, drop a comment in the comment section. Let us know what you think about the first look at Abigail Before Beatrice. Again, it's supposed to be like a cult film, psychological thriller. Going to be hitting the festival lines here in the next few weeks, and hopefully we'll get some more information on when we might be able to see this one more widespread. And if you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, we'll see you at the next one. Later.